Welcome back. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. We're joined today on AM 560 The Answer with my co-host, my son, my acquaintance,
moderately, decently good friend,
Jake Leahy, and our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner. And we're just going to go right into this segment.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
And that Mr. Know-It-All does not refer to me, which I do have 2 degrees.
But that's
my high school and my 8th grade diploma.
Let me say something. When you were 16, that would have applied to you because then you were Mr. Know-It-All. You knew everything.
I still know everything.
Yeah, because you're not, I guess, even 18-year-olds.
I just don't know the answers to the IRS problems. Because if you do have IRS problems, you should call the real Mr. Know-It-All because he has 5 degrees.
Do I have
your 8th grade degree?
Yes.
Your high school degree?
Yes.
You might have an elementary school degree too.
I don't think so. We didn't do it back in those days. Yes, I have a from Loyola University.
Law degree
from John Marshall,
and a Master of Laws degree.
That's correct. I have a master's degree also.
In information technology, but he doesn't know how to not post the same thing to Facebook twice. He does it all the time. He denies it. We just did it today.
They think that they always think that they know more.
You
about
press share. You press share twice. I've never done that.
Don't get me going on this, okay? Because that's not the Mr. Know-It-All segment today.
Because he doesn't know that.
This Mr. Know-It-All segment today is about. Okay, so if and this is the question I got. If the IRS is garnishing my wages, is that a solution to my IRS problem? And I had to say, no, it's not a solution. So I had a couple people, and again, I always talk about what happens in my
solution. That
no,
really
it's not a solution at all. So I had a guy come in and said, they started taking my, they started garnishing my wages at work, and then I went and they froze my bank account, and they took all my money out of my bank account too. I thought I had solved it when they started garnishing my wages, and I tell them, no, that's not a. And then I had another woman this week came and said, well, I've solved my IRS problem because I just started telling them to take more money out of my check every week. That way I'll get a bigger.
Did she have an attorney? That she should do that.
No, then I'll get a bigger refund.
That was her first mistake.
I'll get a bigger refund at the end of the year, and then the IRS will take that big refund, and that's how I'm going to pay my IRS problem. And I just shaking my head. That is not a solution. Okay. That is a penalty. They are not finished with you if this is what they're doing. So
are they not looking out for you when they
they
come
do
up with
not
those?
look out for you. So there's a department in the IRS, and it's called the Collections Department. These are the people who levy you, who take things away from you, who could take your home, who could take your car.
The IRS would like to apologize for that.
No, they wouldn't. They don't want to apologize. Remember, that's Lois
if
Lerner.
They broke the law.
I just wanted to tell you that.
They follow the law whenever they can.
Whenever they can.
I don't know what else you expect.
But the law allows them to take these things from you.
Oh.
Okay.
So what if they go above the law?
As long as you're in the collection department. So that's why when you get an installment agreement, which I talked about earlier, an agreement that's a signed contract that says, okay, you're going to pay us this way. We're going to take you out of collections, and we're going to agree to accept this payment every month in lieu of coming after you. When they're garnishing your wages, that's part of the collections process. They're taking things away from you involuntarily. It's not a voluntary agreement. And they don't have to stop there. They can still take your bank account.
How can I stop them from doing that?
Come up with an agreement. Call me. And
Should I come up with my own agreement? Hey, will you take this?
This is what people do, okay? And again, when they get these garnishments, they think that, the IRS is taking my stuff now, and I guess I'll just pay them that way.
So should I call like a CPA to fix that or something?
CPAs do this kind of work, and we talked about this last week because CPAs and these other outfits, they don't have attorney-client relationships with you, and they can be called by the IRS to testify against you. As an attorney, I can't be called to testify against you. You need an attorney. My own opinion. Now, there's those that aren't attorneys who do this kind of work will have a different opinion.
They're wrong.
They're exactly wrong. Exactly. Jake Trump. They are wrong. But anyway, this is what I'm getting at. Okay, you need to come up with a voluntary You got to work with the IRS, come up with an agreement. If they're taking things away from you and you think that's the end of it, it is not the end of it. Now, it's true that even if you come up with an agreement, they will take your refund at the end of every year if you have a refund coming. But it's not a solution to say, well, I'll just take out more and get a bigger refund next year, and that way the IRS will leave me alone. They won't leave you alone.
They don't just leave you alone?
They do not.
What if I have an attorney advocating on my behalf?
Well, advocating is a good word, and you need an attorney advocate, in my opinion. But you have to come up with a solution.
Which attorney?
You should call me. You should call Steve Leahy, the IRS answer man, at 312-664-6649, or visit me on the web. Visit us on the web at Chicago.
But I see all these big box outfits who do it too.
Don't make fun of me, Jake.
Why should I hire you above them?
There's lots of reason. And if you go to chicagotaxteam.com. Anyway, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-all.
So you almost made me forget that.
I'd rather have a local Chicago attorney.
Exactly. Okay, they should hire me. And if you go to chicagotaxteam.com, which is your hub for solutions, I forget what he says. We should listen to Jimmy. Maybe I'll play him playing stuff like that. But
Am
anyway,
I really not good enough?
Call me at 312-664-6649. Visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com and come back after the break because we're going to have one more segment.
The best segment.
We're gonna do this. The IRS. I forget what he says. AM 560, The Answer.